All right, so we're here taking a look at Berserker Onslaught. We're doing this a little bit different today. This is going to be a live commentary, so you can see and hear my initial thoughts and reactions about the game. As always, we're going to start with settings. Okay, I appreciate that there's a loot filter from the get-go. Display, VSync, I would like to see more options there, but especially when we take a look at the graphics quality, which goes... Aha! You have to turn it on to custom. Okay. So why don't we go ahead and turn shadows to medium. We'll turn global illuminations to medium. Everything else, except for post-processing, which we're going to turn down to low because that's usually where things like motion blur live. Everything else, we'll leave reflections on high. Let's turn textures to epic, visual effects to epic, shading, everything else to epic. Because we are running this on a 9800 X3D and 1590, so I would be surprised if it can't handle this, especially considering I'm not running anything else right now except for one Firefox window in Discord. Individual volume sliders for everything is nice. Language options, okay. So the options menu is a little bit sparse, but we'll see what we can do here. So based on what I was seeing, this seems like a halfway point between a Survivor's Like and Path of Exile. Now they need to localize that back to English. So beneath our feet lies the canyon of the Flame Scars in Muspelheim. Only by crossing this accursed land can we reach Asgard. Hurry now. The scorching venomous fumes have already poisoned this realm. Take heed. The deeper you go, the deadlier the beasts. Okay? So I'm guessing there's a pretty standard roguelite mechanic where the further down you go, or the further you progress, the higher things go. Suitor says, do not dream of quenching my wrath with water or magic. Muspelheim's flames obey only me. That is certainly an interpretation of Suitor. All right, what do we got? Heatwave, Blast, and Flame Smite. Whenever an enemy begins to attack you, it has a chance to suffer Flame Smite, getting burning. Okay. So when they start their auto attack, they then stop the auto attack and take damage? Maybe. That seems like it would give a grip of survivability. You'll flame damage to enemies in front of you. Attacking corpses marked with Flame God Sigil that causes them to explode. Enemies killed by the explosions grant you a stack of Ember. Really like to know what Ember is. Is that under the Alt menu? No. There we are. So Flame God Sigil, being hit by attacks with flame or lightning triggers burning. And Ember knocks up nearby enemies at 5 stacks of Ember. Okay. Or our attacks become stronger and have a chance to inflict Flame status, which immediately triggers burning when you apply it to something with Flame God. But we don't necessarily have a way to inflict Flame God yet, so why don't we take Blast? Okay. So it's straight Survivor's Like where it's just going to auto-fire. Let's make our way... Soulbinder Mage. Let's go over here and see if we can find a Soulbinder Mage. Okay, so we already looked at Heatwave. Release a flame core that applies burning to enemies within a 4-meter radius. When touched, the core explodes, firing multiple random attacks. What's the chance on the 15%? Sure, we'll try it. Just to have some AoE, like, deniability there. Okay, so we just got movement speed and strike damage. We now have Scaly Archers leveling up again. Maybe let's take Heatwave, just so that we've got all of this going at once here. So we killed that guy, but we still need to find that mage if we want to get further up. What's this? Ooh, got some master level stuff. Your dash applies Flame God Sigil, or cast gain burning. Let's take that. We're good. That way we can dash through enemies and then apply things that will cause them to explodinate, and then hopefully chain. What is this? Assault Corpse Bound, Deposit Gloves, and an Axe Shield. Toxic Fog begins to spread. I don't like that. Okay, so flat attack speed, Summon, or we level up Blast. I guess we go with the Summon, honestly. Oh, you cannot actually interact with your menus while you're in-game. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's butts. Because we just pick stuff up and have no way to actually use them. Unless it auto-equipped. I'm not sure if it auto-equipped. I'm going to try to get well, I'm going to get dead. So maybe on the next run, we can figure out if it actually automatically equips stuff. Battle details. Yeah, we did bad. I get it. First run. Okay. So now, what do we have? Composite gloves we can put on. We've got kind of busted axe and shield. Items inside are safe from danger and can even restore shattered objects. So is this like a safe pocket? Or a Herodric cube? That's nifty. So it also looks like there's a bunch of different classes you can unlock. It's unclear yet when or how we do that. Okay, so we can't go up there. Wait, because that's a mirror, not actually a door. Okay, excellent ray tracing. Where do we need to go? This is... Certain areas of Emberscar Canyon are especially terrifying and deadly. Warped by infernal lava, the monsters there have grown maddened and brutally powerful. They guard the land endlessly, searching for lost treasures. Okay. Where's the shop? There's the shop. Okay. So we've got... How does this work? Our cast duration increases. How much money do we have? Oh, we're actually sitting pretty well at 2,000. So what I'm thinking we do here is we just pick up all of these. Now the question is whether or not we lose everything we have equipped when we die, because this gives me extraction vibes. And, well, I'm not a fan of that. What are you? You're just eye candy. Okay. Valkyrie. Okay. Let's try this again as we figure out how this actually works. Okay, so green shit is bad. Surprising no one. Let's work our way over to pillars. 5% attack damage. Yes, very nice, very nice. We leveled up. Why don't we start with Heatwave this time? Just to get some early burning damage going. We're just gonna see how far we can work our way around. 44 attack range or strike range? Attack range. Oh, look at all this XP. I like it. I like it a lot. That's not worth upgrading that, so let's just take that, which means every few attacks we apply Flame God Sigil to everything in front of us, which has the potential to just be dumb, depending upon when it procs. Leather belt, okay. It's still not clear if I get to keep my gear when we die. We'll see. That, on the other hand, is a meaningful upgrade. However, it would make sense to flesh out all of the different interactables that we have. So getting a thing that will let us cast seems like just having extra things that will go off is the play. Honestly, this seems kind of like a Path of Exile player's dream, where you're effectively running around, deleting hordes of enemies, and this time, instead of only having to press one button, you don't have to press any buttons, which is 100% improvement. At least if you're the kind of person who likes to build like that. That's why I always drop off in endgame in RPGs. Alright, so let's take the spawns again, because those fireballs were doing some work for us earlier. Working around, getting to XP, getting to loot. I'm still not sure what to do with this toxic fog, outside of hopefully not die. And I just noticed that there's grips of spiders and giant elites now. That's a thing. So let's take the Flame Smite, which will make it less likely for people to actually hit us, just because they'll have a chance to interrupt their attack and do some damage. And then our attacks will bounce off the fact that they're on fire, and that seems good. Okay, I think maybe we take the Spark Dash, and then we let all of our other effects do some real work for us. There's definitely a lot going on screen, and it's pretty. Let's see what RTSS says. Oh, that's unfortunate. So I'm playing it at 1440 with a 9800 X3D and a 5090, and we're pulling 150 FPS. Now that is with everything going on. Let's see. Yeah, let's upgrade our summons, because that's a crazy percentage-based increase. Yes, that is with everything going on screen, but at the same time, it's not like I'm asking the game to render Crisis here, you know? Alright, I don't know what I just activated, and it cost me health. So skipping ahead so that the video isn't obscenely long here, we've unlocked the Wizard, as well as Talents. So it looks like your pretty standard talent tree affair. I like that design choice of being able to spin the talents. That's nice. Instead of having to get like taco neck going on where you have to like crane over to one side to read. However, we don't have any points yet because we just unlocked that system. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and empty out our box. Go and put that into the overall inventory so that the next time we play Axe and Shield guy, we have some gear for him. Does look like the gear is unique to each class, which makes sense. There's a pretty decent amount of inventory space here, so that's actually kind of nice, especially given the nature of the extraction mechanics in the harder zones later on. Here's where you can swap heroes, but let's go ahead and get started. I haven't played the wizard yet, so this might be abrupt. We'll see. Oh, okay. We just sort of... nifty. Let's go ahead and put those on. For an extra 9% attack speed? Hell yeah. I appreciate that this has an AoE on it. 12% cooldown reduction, 12% attack damage. Eventually the cooldown reduction is going to be OP, provided we live long enough to get it. So let's keep running around, getting some upgrades. Oh, okay, so the wizard is affiliated with Thor. Attack speed is increased and your attacks apply lightning. Attacks have a chance to create a tornado on hit. If the tornado touches lightning, it becomes an electro-tornado. Okay. Or 21% move speed. Holy hell. Eventually, we want to get that just for quality of life. But let's pick up this so that we can start applying lightning. Because when we looked at the tornado, it requires a lightning effect to hit it first. So, you know, build bricks before you build houses. 5 HP, attack crit chance. No, we're keeping the attack speed for now. That's unfortunate that you can drop armor for classes that you aren't playing. Attack shoots more projectiles, but minus 40% range. Pickups drop more often. Let's do that. Because I'm not looking to delete things from an entire screen distance away. We want to basically set up as much like chain reactions as we can here. Oh, ow. That tickled a bit. Didn't notice the skeletal mages. Okay, what do we got? Blessing of Ice. Cast forward to create an ice wall, reflects projectiles, apply wet. What does wet do? Applies slow. Stacks up to 5 times. When affected by chill, they'll become frozen. When affected by thunder, you become stunned. Interesting. Or we could get a summon. Ice Wolf. Or ice spikes randomly erupt, implying wet. Let's take that one, so that we can stun things more often. Well, realistically, any amount of stun is more than what we have now. So, I don't know that more often is the correct word there, but this is what we get when I'm still waiting for caffeine to kick in. Okay. Yep, we're going to go with the tornado, so we can get the electro tornado. This is getting silly already. Like, if you really want that power fantasy of late game PoE builds or Diablo 4 builds, yeah, you could do a lot worse than this. Ring. Thick ring. Shadow Staff. Okay, hold on. We need to see what that is. After we get this next talent. Dash stirs frost, applying wet. Yeah, we'll take that. Just because then we can dash through something and stun it. Thusly. Okay, let's take a look at all the loot we just got here. Leather belt, XP gain. Yes, very nice. Legendary skills do more stuff, I'm assuming. Hardwood staff gives us 88 to 108, attack speed of 0.6, 74 to 137. Huh. Okay. So it looks like the Shadow Staff is actually better? Question mark? Either way. Damn. So much going on here. Take the Blaze Core. I like that one. Because then we're just going to start filling the screen with random bullshit that's going to delete zip codes. Ow. Don't do that. Yeah. Crit damage. On every level up, heal some life. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Anything to give us some sustain. See, I don't know what. On the warrior, not warrior, the action guy that we were playing a moment ago, the R ability healed us a little bit. I'm not sure what it's going to do here, but let's see what we can make happen. Let's reduce enemy barriers. Okay, so it didn't heal us, but it did create an entirely ridiculous how about you just not exist here? Let's take the movement speed. So did it... That zone gave us... necromancy? What? Oh, okay. Put on our new armor. And it's pushing back on the spider swarm? Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Let's level up our attack damage and speed, yeah? This is silly. It's glorious, but it's silly. Oh, the sheer spectacle of this is absurd. I love it. I'm absolutely here for it. I'm just poleaxed here with what to say. This is amazing. Go, my ghostly skeleton army. Now these guys were kind of a pain before, so let's get. They don't care about the skeletons. Huh. Maybe, I wonder if it's because they're flying. As often as we're able to, we're definitely going to try to use the skellies to body block. All Diablo 2 skills coming into play. Sure, let's add a Frost Wolf. Why not? Come on, skellies. Oh, they're spawning off of kills. Okay, let's go get this... Nope, staff first. Then we'll go back and hit this other buff tower here. Yeah, we'll take that one. Because that's the perk we had before that wound up... that's the perk we had before that wound up causing enemies to stun themselves if they tried to attack and get set on fire. So... I am a fan of anything that gives us sustain. Let's work our way over here. I'm not sure if we will have to go clear that same boss again. I'm not sure if I'm even going to include that in the video so that y'all can discover it for yourself. We'll see. But I am starting to get, like, seriously chunked. Nope. We're just going to die. Okay. So let's take a look at what goodies we got. Status effect, HP per level. I mean, anything to give you sustain in games like this is huge. 10% dodge, HP per level. All right, so before getting any points or perks from leveling up, we're already at 17 HP per level. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, we don't have any jewelry or helms or anything like that yet, so let's just go ahead and plunk the rest of the gear back in the inventory here. See if we get unlocked any talents. And then we can take a closer look at some of those. Okay. Talents, mate. We don't have any. Granted, you know, that was just basically a quarter of a run because I just started getting chunked. But, so yeah, there's your basic loop here. If you come to the Heroes Roundtable, you get a more detailed breakdown of the different classes. So we have Knight and Wizard unlocked right now.
By Odin, I swear. Today I come home
and you can get a more detailed breakdown of each of their individual perks and drawbacks here. Later on, you would unlock the Assassin, the Barbarian, the Archer, and the Warrior. And you can go through the video right there and pause on each if you wanted to see what all of their unique abilities are. But yeah, that's the game. And usually I'm not a fan of either ARPGs at endgame, which this seeks to be a halfway point of like between that and a Survivor's like, but it's pretty solid. So I'll have the information on pricing, release date, platforms on screen. Other than that, as I said, this is a little bit more casual of a video than my normal, but I wanted to bring you something quickly, and we'll see what y'all think. Do you prefer getting more content faster, or do you prefer my more like curated, scripted videos? Let me know down in the comments, and let me know what you think about the absolute eye candy absurdity that this game inflicts on you. I've been BaldSquid. I'll see you next time.